What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with my all-new review of Married to Medicine. So I start off with the ladies. They're getting ready for tonight. Quad feels as though Contessa and Heavenly are both wrong, okay? Contessa did way too much with having his intervention, all because of what she had already admitted and showed out on television what her marriage was like. And Heavenly went a little bit too far about talking about it on her social media, which she had a point about, right? So they get to dinner. Before they have dinner, Contessa apologized for her behavior. She apologized for her actions and everything. And that was the only apologize that was given. Nobody else apologized besides Contessa, which was big of Contessa to do. Very big of her to do. So they have a private table courtesy of the chef. And the chef walked away. Quad thought that he was cute. But Anila said, but he's married. Quad didn't say nothing. But Toya said, all men love a good black woman. A nice, cute black woman, okay? So, all the food came out. It was a seafood fiasco, okay? You have lobster, shrimp, lobster mac and cheese, clams, mussels, oysters, the whole 9 yards, right? And then you have Contessa, who was constantly battling of keeping up with her diet. But girl, just let go of the diet while you're in Vegas, okay? You will make it up. Just right now, let it go, okay? So, Simone wanted to start a Q&A session for her book with Cecil. And the first question was, would you prefer to have sex or a marathon? People say a marathon and quickies. Quad wants a little bit of both with a little bit of aggression in the neck. You know, put some pressure on the neck. And I was with Quad. You know, there's nothing that will turn me on when you can hold my neck the right way, the nice, pleasurable way. I'm with that. So the next question was about being the breadwinner. Is that automatically a man's job, or can a woman be the breadwinner? Now, Toya and Heavenly both have different viewpoints. Heavenly goes towards the biblical standpoint of the man being the head of the household, the provider, protector, and everything, right? Toya said he could be the head of the household, but it doesn't matter if he's not bringing the money. I mean, we could both be bringing in money that makes us both equally the breadwinners. While he can still be the head of the household, run his house the way he wants to run his house, but he's not the main breadwinner. We're both breadwinners. And in the Bible, it said the man who does not work does not eat. But there are men who definitely uses being the head of the household or being the main provider as a way to manipulate and control other women. You know, they want to say, it's my house, it's my rules. I do what I want to do. But then you got other men who doesn't tap into those gender roles. If we are both working and we are both providing for a place for our family to live and be protected, then that is what it is. There's no, a man does this, a woman does this. No, it's equal. Then led to a conversation about, you know, Toya wouldn't marry a man if he didn't have any money. And I just don't like that. It's all about Toya acting as if she doesn't have anything of her own. Like she is nothing but a housewife. I hate that. And none of y'all will marry a man with money. None of y'all are in a space in y'all mind to marry a man with potential. And this time and age, ain't no woman is marrying a man with potential. They need to marry a man who has some form of financial stability, okay? The next question was, can your husband have female friends? Women, most of them say half and half, yes and no. Heavenly and Toya says no, okay? Now, it's all about if you can trust your husband, you can trust your wife, because it's vice versa. While people say men can't have friends, women can't have friends either. Well, it all depends on how you trust your partner. I can say men and women can have friends as long as there are boundaries put in place. And if you're not insecure about any woman that's in front of your man, then there it is right there. Simone, who dealt with that when on their season, they almost got a divorce of this female friend. But she said there's boundaries put in place. There's boundaries with mothers, siblings, and friends when it comes to my marriage. And the next question was, what are the symptoms of a dysfunctional marriage? That was definitely towards Contessa for her to read that question, because it's like, Contessa, girl, you are in a dysfunctional marriage. But every marriage is different. What works for you won't work for everybody else. And that's why you don't allow outsiders to come in and dictate how you should move in your marriage. If you feel that this man can't do nothing wrong in your eyes and that you want to stay in your marriage, and stay in your marriage. But don't throw out what you don't like. Don't say what he does. Don't do that. Because then while we're looking at you about what you said, You looking as if we're trying to make it seem you should leave your husband. Can't nothing we can say to leave your husband. Just like what Heavenly said. If you guys show me proof, no proof, accusations, I'm not leaving my husband. No matter what. And that's pretty much what we want contestants to be confident in. Girl, just say, while we've had our issues, I'm not going nowhere. Just say that. And we could be done with it. You don't need to defend us from what you've already said about your marriage. If you're not going anywhere based on what you say, then you should just be quiet. Don't mention any more issues that you have with your husband to make it seem as if you're about to leave or you're not about to leave. Then come to find out that Scott and Contessa were in a long distance relationship before they got married. They got married the same year. They lived in the same state. And if they were to live in the same city, I still will never know exactly the type of person that he was before I married him. Then all of the women go back and forth on what they've learned or what they didn't learn about their husbands before moving in with him. All of them pretty much say all the men left their dirty drawers everywhere, was wearing socks with holes in them, never took out leftovers, kept 5 days worth of food in the refrigerator. Oh, hell no. My husband is not like that. My husband's definitely an OCD type person. He is a clean freak. But I would say the one area where he will mostly keep spotless is his gaming system. His whole entire setup with his gaming monitors and everything, all that would be spotless. Audra asked a question. What were you more surprised when you got married? Toya said that their penises does not get any bigger. Everybody laughed, but of course, everybody thought that she was coming at Eugene's manhood, how it was small. And they said, girl, just stop talking. Don't embarrass this man. Something's wrong with me. If I did not feel that. I didn't say, Toya, why you said? I was just thinking that she just made a general statement. When you marry a man or you marry a woman, you marry everything. You marry all the way down to their dirty feet. If their dirty feet does not make you mad and you love their dirty feet, then you love it. So basically saying, my man's penis is the only penis that I'm going to say yes to for the rest of my life. That's what I thought. I just think that if this man is enough for you in all aspects and that's what you want to marry, then that's what you want to marry. But of course, it's like, damn, Toya, why did you say that? Then there was another question of masturbation. While being married, how often do you masturbate? Where it doesn't collide with you and your husband's actual sex time. Well, Toya said as often as her husbands are not home. You know, she's a pro with that shower head. And it could be till I'm tired. It could be almost to 7 orgasms. And when it comes to Eugene, who works damn near 80 hours a day, he don't have enough in him. I got to get mines. Anila does the same thing. She waits until Kieran leaves to get hers. Quad said, you don't wake up for the D? Girl, he wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I am asleep. But I would say it's 2 ways. Wow, morning sex, like really like sunrise morning sex. It's delicious. It's amazing. But then, of course, you know what I'm saying? We kind of want that morning to wake up and then get your day started. You want to have that sleep. It's 2 and 2 that I work at. You know what I'm saying? Let me have my sleep. But if you up and you want it, oh yeah, it's on and popping. Simone feels like if you masturbate too much, it's not leaving your husband the space to grow with you about how much you want sex. Toy said it makes him want to work harder for it. You don't want to get replaced by a toy. Same point in time, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be replaced by a toy. This is just, you know, when you gone, when I am, you know, alone, like, you know, this is temporary. This is not a permanent. But if you don't want to be replaced by a toy, I suggest, you know, you step your game up, step your pussy up, step your dick up. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with masturbating with a toy from time to time when you don't feel like having sex. It ain't nothing wrong with that. If you just have that itch that your husband are not around to scratch, then you scratch it for yourself. Especially for me. I'm a trucker's wife. So my husband is gone for a week at a time, and I definitely be in the mood. And he ain't here, so I go for my toy. Then for dessert, they switch up a little bit. Instead of receiving sweet desserts, they got a stack of money. They're headed towards the strip club. So while headed towards the strip club, they were wondering, are you going to tell your husband? Are you going to tell your husband? You going to tell your husband? What? You don't have to tell your husbands everything, but if you have that relationship where you guys laugh about what you do, then that's different. Toya calls Eugene to talk about they're going to a strip club. He does not care. You hear Quad in the background laughing about what Toya said earlier about how his manhood was little. Toya said, my husband's dick is not little. His dick accommodates this pussy every time, okay? Well, you didn't say that earlier, and we know you didn't, Toya. We know you didn't. You were drunk, having a good time. Damn it, Toya. Then they were talking about a husband swap. Toya said she will switch with Anila's husband because he looks long and strong. And Anila agrees. Now, I'm kind of wondering, how is it that that's okay for Toya to say that she would switch with Anila's husband, but wrong for her to say that their penises don't get bigger? How is that any different? But Anila started dancing, and she peed a little bit, but want to say it was sweat. Girl, when you have had two kids, your bowel movements, well, not bowel movements, your constant need to pee is like twice. You be definitely feeling like I just went to the bathroom. I gotta go back. Absolutely. But it's okay, Anila. It's okay. So they head to the strip club. There was a man dressed up in a Tuskegee in an Air Force outfit, like a Tuskegee Airman. Contessa's having a really good time. She's getting a sexy lap dance and everything. Thank you for your services. You know what? I never talked about their outfits. Everybody's outfits looked great. Contessa looked gorgeous in this glittery red dress, and it was short. Contessa's showing out. She is showing out what she's not getting at home. All that humping that she was getting from that man, she ain't getting it from Scott. She was so happy. Then the MC that came out to showcase the headliner of the show, I recognize him from a movie that he did with Tatiana Ali and Jasmine Lewis called Nora's Hair Salon. He was funny. And he talked about, that there's one person in the group that always act like they don't want to be there. And that was Jackie. Jackie had on a shawl. A shawl said she was cold. Jackie, stop. So, of course, there's need to pretend. There's need to hide your secrets here. Let's act out. You know what I'm saying? And then the man that came out, his name was King. And he had a saddle on top of his thingy thing. I was like, ooh. Jackie needed her glasses. When it comes to a male strip club, I don't know. It's like I'm interested, but I'll be more interested if it was a female strip club. I think that's where my excitement mostly be at. It's just gorgeous and mesmerizing to see a woman on a pole. I love it. Heavenly received a very special lap dance from a group of men, okay? She was the queen. She had a belt. She was whipping them. And then had the gall to say, as a good Christian woman and a wife, I don't think it's right for me to be in a place like this. I said, Heavenly, stop it. Stop it. You're such an undercover freak, but I love it, Heavenly. I love it. Simone got all on video of Heavenly having a good time. So while they having a good time, all the men who are enjoying their wives not being there just wanted to have something fun to do. Cecil invited them to work out, go to a boxing ring, but they didn't think they would work out this much. I mean, they were working out, punching the punching bag, 1-2 punch, bow, squat and everything. They were old and tired, okay? Then they get to the boxing ring and Eugene and Kieran got paired up. How did they get paired up? But it looked fun. Eugene got a couple of hits off of Kieran, but it was a nice time. And they were tired. I mean, you see Curtis in the background saying, we could leave. We can go out the back door if you want to. We can go. But it was such a good time. But they don't know if they're going to have Cecil do another outing. Cecil, you are banned from planning any other events from this, please. And Curtis and Cecil believes that Simone and Jackie are in the bed. No, they not. It's 2 o'clock in the morning in Vegas. They having a good time. What your wives don't know, please. Y'all don't know nothing about your wives. The boxing ring was a much better outcome than the Axis. And maybe that would have been a better outcome for them to rehash their issues. But it was nice to see. They're all laughing about it. Even Cecil brought up the Axis and then say, that shit was funny, huh? Cecil, shut up. And Toya came up with a great idea for the women to get into a boxing ring and maybe a mud wrestling. That looked fun. That would definitely get their frustrations off of one another. It's the next morning and everybody's hungover, but they're going over to Jackie's room to have breakfast. And Heavenly is bringing IV treatments to bring everybody's energy up. Even though the trip got off to a rocky start, it still was so much fun later. And now they got to make certain that bacon is on deck. We got to have bacon. So breakfast is nice. The last night was so much fun. Simone wanted to have a premiere party for the video she shot of Heavenly. But Simone, Toya, and Contessa apologizes to Heavenly about how the intervention went about. They did not want it to go that way. We are so sorry we did that to you. We had to think about it. That was not the right way for us to do that. We apologize for that. And I'm happy that they did. You know what I'm saying? They did not want it to, they did not want that to happen. It was a much more way they could have did it. And they apologized for it. So Heavenly apologized to Contessa and said, I'm so sorry for the things that I've said. I do not mean to hurt you. I do not intend to hurt you. I would never do that. But I can see how my words have hurt you. I can see that. And I believe that this trip has made it worthwhile for us to move forward. And I'm sorry. So Heavenly feels like it's a reflection of her trauma as a child because she grew up very sheltered. She got picked on. And she always fought back when someone picks on her. So before they could pick on her, she lashes out before they have a chance. It's a defense mechanism. And it's no excuse, though, because everybody has trauma that they're still working through. Everybody does. There's nobody's perfect. And you always got to learn about yourself every single time, right? And Qua was like, this is growth. This is breakthrough because she never apologizes. Toya said, yes, she does. She does apologize when she's wrong, but I just want to know what makes this time different. How can I trust Heavenly? How can I believe Heavenly? She's saying my apologies won't mean nothing unless my actions are behind it, which is correct. It's absolutely correct. And regarding with Heavenly and Contessa, listen, there are up and downs when I come with Heavenly. It's like I don't mind Heavenly's truth and honesty, but I sometimes feel like, damn it, Heavenly, you come a little bit too hard at times, but I get it. Contessa, it's the same thing with you. You use everybody else to come after what you said. You said this about your marriage, and all Heavenly did was repeat it. If you felt as though you did not want it to be out, then you shouldn't have said nothing if you weren't about to do nothing about it. But I'm happy that they came together. It was a really fun time to see them hang out, have a good time. I enjoyed it. Then they gave us the mid-season trailer for the remainder of the show. Okay, so we got Anila's break-in. We're going to get Audra and Toya fight. But then there was something else. Somebody's going to make a rumor about Toya sleeping with somebody in the neighborhood. How'd that happen? What? Who said that? But I'm really excited about the remainder of the season. What's going to happen then? But y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.